They're probably going to try and stop me from getting this out. I don't exactly know who they are, but I know that they exist. They took my footage. They don't want the things I've seen getting out, but I don't give a damn what they want. I give a damn about the truth. And I'm not going to let them hide it. There's more to this world than what we see. So much more. My name is Tracy Good, and 6 months ago, I was part of a documentary crew who was sent to Pench National Park in India's Madhya Pradesh state. Our job was to catch some footage of the tigers in the area, and really, if you wanted to get footage of tigers in the wild, then Pench was the place to be. Pench Tiger Reserve is literally one of the premier tiger reserves of India. I've filmed there before actually, and it really is breathtaking. Lush vegetation, diverse wildlife. It's exactly what drove me to take jobs like this. Driving through Pench is ethereal almost, like passing through a chapel built by nature herself. We were there for 2 weeks filming the tigers, sometimes with the host of our documentary, and sometimes by ourselves, filming B-roll while he shot elsewhere. All in all, it wasn't a bad gig. I got to be where I wanted to be, doing what I wanted to do. What could I possibly complain about? I was happy. And then I saw it. It had been one of the days where we'd been filming B-roll, and up until that point it had been fairly relaxing. We'd been in the Jeep, quietly moving through some of the paths and hoping to catch sight of a tiger. And it wasn't too long before I did. I saw it moving through the brush, several hundred yards away. It wasn't stalking prey. It seemed calm, minding its own business, so to speak. It regarded our passing Jeep with curiosity, but otherwise didn't seem all that interested in us. I saw its gaze briefly study us before it looked away. It was a beautiful specimen, and as it turned away I caught sight of the white eye spots on the back of its ears. Fun fact, those eye spots are actually there to deter predators. Some people might ask, what the hell is out there preying on tigers? Well, the answer is simple. Other tigers. What I find more interesting is the fact that the eye spots on their ears are similar to the masks some farmers in India wear on the backs of their heads to deter tiger attacks. So long as they think they're being watched, the tigers won't make a move. I had my camera, so I let myself film the tiger for a bit. Some of the others who were with me at the time had noticed it too at that point. We filmed it as it stalked through the trees, occasionally looking back at our Jeep to make sure we weren't following it, as it left us behind. And that's when it happened. I had time to review the footage several times before it was taken. I've memorized every single frame, and though the video is gone, my memory is not. As the tiger walked, it ran into something. Its movements became more erratic, as if there was something it was trying to pull itself free from, although we couldn't see anything from the car. Not at first. I remember zooming in my camera to try and see what was bothering the tiger, and that was when I heard one of the other people on the Jeep saying something. There's something in the tree. That was the point that I looked up and saw it. Something crawling out of the tree above the tiger. Long black, spindly legs reaching from the tree and carrying down. Something that even now I struggle to describe. It had the legs and the abdomen of a spider, but the torso almost looked human. Almost. Put that torso on human legs and it still would have clearly been something else entirely. From the elbow down, the arms were covered in a hardened carapace. There were too many eyes and the proportions of the limbs were too long. It descended the tree, and we saw the tiger look up at it. I'd never seen a tiger display terror before, but with its teeth bared in defiance and its ears pressed back against its skull, it looked like nothing more than a cornered house cat. The creature that bore down upon the tiger moved with almost blinding speed, raking its claws across the big cat's hide and sinking those talons into its flesh. The tiger had time to cry out in pain before it was hoisted into the trees. We watched as it was taken, back legs kicking weakly in its final moments. It seemed to be trying to fight, but the thing in the trees had already claimed it as prey. The whole encounter was over in under a minute, but we had gotten the entire thing on camera. And when the shock of what we'd just seen had worn off, and we had the good sense to get the hell out of Pench, we began to realize what we had just seen. Some sort of undiscovered species. It had to be. What other logical explanation was there for this? A prank? Who the fuck would be out in the middle of Pench, dressed as a giant spider and killing tigers. No, this had to be something else. Some kind of alternative species. A convergent evolution of mankind, perhaps. That might explain the humanoid appearance, but not the more arachnid part of its anatomy. Me and the others who'd recorded this thing stayed up for almost 2 nights poring over our footage. And as we did, we knew we needed to go out there and find this thing again. We tried again a few days later, taking the Jeep out to the same spot and studying the trees, but whatever we'd seen was long gone. We never saw it again. But that was fine. We had all we needed to convince someone to help us look into it. As soon as we started showing people this footage, there'd be countless people more than eager help us finance another expedition to learn more about this thing. What was it? Where did it come from? Were there more? At least, we figured there would be. When one of our colleagues said he'd found someone interested, we didn't think anything of it. I mean, considering what we'd seen, who wouldn't be interested? We were asked to meet with them when we made it back to the United States. We figured it'd be a simple meeting. We'd show them the footage in person and start hashing out the details on how to find this thing. Instead, we were detained for 12 fucking hours. They took everything, deleted everything. Even the backups we'd made were gone. The backups of the backups we'd made were gone. They just took it. They never even told us why. Then again, I guess that was probably the point. Trying to hide whatever it was we saw from the public. But I can't accept that. I can't just pretend that we didn't see what we saw out there. I can't just let it go. I don't know what I'm bringing upon myself by doing this, but I'll cross that bridge when I get to it.